Hey ladies and gentlemen, this is Luminous, this is IE 2000, and we're going to be having Invictus Gaming versus Team Liquid. We're kind of in the lower half of the tournament. Invictus Gaming, I believe, 1 and 2. 1 and 2, and Team Liquid 0 and 3. So, I'm not exactly sure how it works now with DK taking off a match. I think Team Liquid is automatically out, I think. I'm not sure.
Yes, I think Team Liquid is out.
But for them, there's a lot of pride on the line.
Yeah.
You can't be going to China, eat their food, and don't come out by beating a Chinese team. But the tough thing is they got to be Invictus Gaming, which, even though they're not exactly on the best shape ever, they are still Invictus Gaming.
Yeah, they're still IG, and they looked a lot better when they took their win
Today.
rather than first day. So,
well, let's not talk too much about it. Let's jump straight into the pick and ban here, as Team Liquid has got themselves a hero that no other Western team, or I guess Alliance, has got so far, which is a Wisp. And for me, that's kind of the big thing, is how will Invictus Gaming play against the Wisps? They know the power. They've been banning against the Western team. And why do you think they kind of let this one through? Has Magnus really been that kind of crazy?
I mean, S4's Meg was pretty good in the game that
They won
they
against
won
LGD.
against LGD.
Yep.
But I don't think that Liquid has a Meg player as good as S4.
S4.
I think that Liquid sort of shies away from that hero a bit more than our teams. They're less reliant on the Meg than actually any other team, I think.
Yeah, Invictus game, or excuse me, Team
So,
Liquid generally
yeah.
they give away the mag
Yeah.
and they counter it with things like clock,
Yeah.
or they just ban it straight out. So, but Invictus Gaming is gonna get themselves a hero that they've been doing quite well with earlier today, which is the Visage. And in terms of the matchup between Wisp and Visage, seems like Visage really has a benefit, right? Because
Yeah.
we saw Visage hit level 6 really quickly yesterday, and everybody just died,
Yeah,
including the Wisp.
in team fights, you're going to be able to just, if you ever hit a slow on the Wisp, Atos, Grave Chill, anything, you send your birds to him, you Soul Ascension, he blows up from full HP.
Right.
And they actually picked Lone Druid. So one of the theoretical counters to Wisp is that you 5-man down the lane relatively early, and and you don't have to care about this, oh, you can't farm as well because we have a Wisp. The weakness of this is, of course, that instead of having one hero away farming and then having to TP away in, you can have someone with the Wisp, and then their TP in is in a better position and faster.
Right.
So that's sort of the benefit against that, but the 5-man push is pretty hard to stop if you don't pick the right heroes with the Wisp. So I think that Team Liquid should pick up something that's quite good against pushes here. Something like maybe like a Clockwork or a Caudle. Like they could go for a Caudle CK here or something like that. That's a very strong tri-lane. I actually never have seen that tri-lane really lose, the with CK Caudle. But they might actually go for something else. Something else that a lot of teams don't do is that you pick, okay, so I was going to say you go for the Garo and you use the Wisp more as a farming tool
Okay.
to just speed around the map.
have him as like global TP.
Yeah.
And then just have Gyro
And
farm all
just
the
being
map.
able to farm super aggressively with Gyro, because he already farms really fast.
Well, instead we're gonna see a Chaos Knight, which one thing I do, you kind of mentioned this earlier, a well-played Visage will stay at the back of the team fight and never die. Not really against the CK, because his initiation range is so high and the burst damage is so fast that even if you're a little bit slow on microing your birds, you're gonna just get blown up by the CK Wisp combo.
This looks like the most classic of CK Wisp lineups. You get the Darkseer so that you have a very strong 1v1 in the off lane. So if they aggressive tri-lane you, then they pay for it.
Right.
They sort of lose a lane or Darkseer outfarms them in their short lane at the very least. Because there are very few heroes that can really do very well versus Darkseer. Like, I think that Weaver's sort of one of them where you sort of ignore the creeps at your tower and you just chase
fight
after him. Yeah, but IG doesn't really have this option. I mean, they could put Syllabear mid, put the aggressive tri-lane, pick a Weaver, but I feel like that lineup doesn't really have any synergy between the Lone Druid and the Weaver. They're both sort of split pushy, and Weaver's not good for that 5-man that Lone Druid does after his split pushing, or like Lone Druid is not really like split pushy, but early on he just pushes instead of coming to fights a lot of times, so that's why I sort of call him split pushy early. And Weaver sort of doesn't 5-man when Lone Druid wants a 5-man, so they're not good together. The Darkseer pickup is also really nice just because vacuum into a tether stun is just as long as basically a vacuum into like a Lashrak stun or something else, and it's a lot easier to do.
The Tether Stun doesn't seem like as impressive as a disable like a Splitter or a Fissure, because it doesn't actually give you too much damage. But the actual stun duration is every bit as good. I mean, it's actually like a Stormhammer, right? It's just a 2-second full duration stun at max level. And when you instantly get to proc it with Chaos Knight, that's already really good. With really, really good Wisp players, you get to double tether stun. Cancel it, cooldown, finish, double tether stun. That's when you start to get something really magical in terms of AoE 4-second stun.
One of the easiest ways to do that, I feel, is when you TP CK in, what you want to do is you want to use your relocate once you've already had tether on for about 6, 7, 8 seconds. Once you start TPing, the tether will never break, so you don't really have to be scared of that. You don't have to be scared of it running out. And what happens is you TP in, CK reality rest, he uses his stun, and then tether is up right away. So you have to retether them. While you're ulting, you do have to cancel your tether and then reapply it, just because it doesn't break while you're already relocated. So you also have the option of restunning whenever you want to.
Yeah, it's just a ton of small, intricate plays. And we'll see whether Team Liquid will be... Who actually plays a Wisp? I think Fluff plays a Wisp.
I think Ix Mike plays it, but...
Okay.
And the last time we played against him, Ix Mike played it, but that was a long time ago. Like, we don't... Like, it's very rare that Wisp gets played. Yeah. And maybe Fluff changed to it. There are even teams like EG who have JO play it, right?
You're right.
So... We'll see. The Jakiro pickup is very good versus the CK Wisp, just because you TP in, he gets Ice Pass, you Macro Power, the CK Illusions down, and that's from a support hero that can completely clear CK's Illusions.
Yeah, one of the more important thing that we see, the construction of this tri-lane is that the range is always there. We've been seeing how Earthshaker was very powerful in the last game. It really stopped Batrider's initiation. We're going to see something similar here. Now, the initiation is going to come from a global, so it's hard to...
I wonder if they're actually going to ban Earthshaker here. Because they might be thinking they do a Visage Jakiro Earthshaker trial.
We saw yesterday from LGD and it worked, just as fine. I don't think you actually need Earthshaker. It's good to have it. Earthshaker, Ice Path, or Fissure, Ice Path, and then Visage nukes. I feel like there's other kind of similar long range heroes, right?
Yeah, but the thing about Earthshaker is he also works very well against Darkseer and CK Wisp, just because he has that instant reliable stun on them.
Right.
That's AoE. So Darkseer, it's a lot harder for him to just sort of run in, vacuum wall. CK Wisp, they come in, you Ice Path them, you follow up with a Fissure. They have very similar AoE, so you can hit the same targets. And then they're basically disabled for all the important parts of the fight, which is basically the first 5 seconds of fight, as long as these are skirmishes, not the real like late game 5v5s.
Okay. We'll see. Dragon Knight's going to get the ban out here, as well as Jakiro from Team Liquid. Meanwhile, Juggernaut's going to get the ban out. I personally like to see Kunkka here again, and see some sort of tri-lane involving Visage, Jakiro, and Kunkka. You have a ton of range initiation still with a Torrent.
It feels a bit hard to hit that Torrent, though, in a tri-lane versus tri-lane situation. I mean, mid lane, Jiao was able to hit so many, but he's also sort of casting those from Fog. If you're at a farm in a tri-lane, it's a lot harder to cast something from Fog, but they do ban it out.
Okay.
Oh, by Invictus Gaming, actually. So maybe they were thinking that... What would they think of the Kunkka?
I mean, actually, in terms of...
It's quite good with Darkseer. It's quite good with the CK Wisp.
Yeah, like the old school kind of vacuum into boat. Yeah, that we've seen those in combo video all day long. But Kokorum deserve another mention here. When you are kind of building your entire team in terms of nuke power, you don't want them to have the access to that. So
yeah, that's a very good point. If they had a Kunkka, no one would really die to the Lone Druid early, because Lone Druid, he doesn't do that much damage.
Right.
To be honest, for how much farm he gets, the fact that the bear only does 75% damage due to his damage type makes him do a lot less than a normal carry would hitting on them.
It only does a ton of damage on towers, which is a different story.
Which is like 2 seconds tower dies.
Right. But Clockwork is going to get the ban out by Team Liquid themselves, which is completely surprising to me. I know Boba won't be playing it because he's going to be on the Darkseer. But you still could run a solo mid Darkseer and offlane Clockwork the other way around.
I'm sort of curious why they thought IG would actually run a Clockwork here. Maybe they've seen something where they aggressive trialing with that Visage, they put a Clockwork mid, or maybe even Clockwork in the trialing is actually very good with Visage. If someone ever gets trapped in cogs, you have a full 5 seconds to beat on them, and usually that person is dead. Plus Clockwork is very tanky, so it's not even guaranteed that you'll get a return kill, and Visage will make stuff trialing a very favorite. So maybe they're just taking it out because if Clockwork's there, the carry can't even really go up to CS.
I mean,
just for the fear cogs.
Another reason is during the mid game when the reality comes in, Clockwork could kind of help his ally from very, very far off. So
and then you would have that Ice Path instead of Fissure. You would have a Clockwork hook here.
Right. So it's just there's a ton of reasons, but regardless, we're not going to see the hero.
So they do pick up that Kato. They pick him up 4th spec instead of instead of third pick, where they pick up Darkseer. And I sort of expect the mid, like something like a Puck to come out from Team Liquid, but maybe they're rethinking that after the next pick. Nyx is sort of ridiculous against Puck, actually.
Yeah, I mean, well, Nyx maybe less good here against Darkseer simply because of Keeper of Light. Also, mana would never be an issue here for the rest of the team because you have Tether and Chakra Magic. So I like where Team Liquid is going with this draft. It just doesn't feel like it's sturdy enough. CK is a fine one-row carry, but every time I've seen him trying to solo carry, unless he just completely goes like 7-0 and 3 early game, he just doesn't do enough.
And a lot of that is just because a lot of CK players, they go for the early mid game rather than aiming for late game at all.
Right.
They're like, well,
but that's the standard.
Yeah, I mean, it's standard. But if you play him as the solo core, unless you're snowballing auto control, it isn't that bad to just farm a little bit on him and a Slark pickup. Is that a mid Slark? Do you think?
I guess.
I mean, they have really two options. You either dual lane mid with the CK West, put Slark on the farm with the Kodo, or you.
Kawa, keep an eye on the Chinese stream. If there's any video showing this Chinese stream of like the crowd going crazy, just let us know, because people will be like, does this hero actually exist?
Yeah.
Because the Chinese, I'm not sure if you ever play on a Chinese server, they are mad tryhard over there. They probably don't even know what Slark do. So here's come an Alchemist last pickup here, and I do believe this Alchemist is going to be played as a carry or solo mid bro. Solo mid bro. Ferrari 430 is going to be playing solo mid.
Nyx, Jakiro, Visage tri-lane.
It's a YYF.
YYF Farmer Visage.
It's a YYF Visage. I thought I would never live to see another day of YYF Visage, because this is like really, really old school Dota. But this is probably one of the best Visage player back in his prime. But let's quickly introduce the lineup here for Invictus Gaming. Your 1 and 2 record so far. They really need this win. They actually could still make it to the top 4 ranking, depending on how the other teams do. DK kind of getting win might be a little bit dangerous for them, but they still could do it, and they have to do so by beating Team Liquid first. YYF will be playing Visage, Zoe will be playing the Lone Druid, Faith will be playing Jakiro, Chuan will be handling the Nyx Assassin, and 430 will be handling the Alchemist. Meanwhile, it seems like Team Liquid's taking a bit of time deciding what player will be playing what hero. Looks like it's gonna be
their heroes now, so
Fluff and stuff.
TC's playing that CK, Fluff is playing the Wisp. Ice Mike is on that Kodo, Croc's playing that Slark, and Bubba's on the Darkseer. I think that means, they're going aggressive. I'm not too sure if they're trying to just dodge, or no, they're definitely just trying to dodge, or they might just be scouting out the lanes. It's a lot easier to scout out the lanes by going into their jungle, just because it's most teams, like if some teams are aggressiving, sometimes they hide their heroes. But it's very rare that they'll hide their safe lane heroes. They'll be like scouting for rune, they'll be scouting the lane.
I think they're trying to actually go aggressive. If you look at TC's item choice, he's got himself a Magic Stick.
Wow, he's really pooled.
Is he? I mean, Magic Stick, that's 200.
Oh, he's only pulled
Stout
one.
Shield, 450. He's pulled himself a South or Tango? Yeah, one of them.
I actually thought that was a 2 item pool, but it's only one.
Yeah, it's only
one.
I mean, you don't start Magic Stick unless you go offensive try, right? If you start if you're gonna go defensive solo and expect a 1v3 situation, you don't need Magic Stick.
Well, it would be like a 3v3 defensive. It wouldn't really be a 1v3, I think.
Right.
And Magic Stick isn't so bad in that, just because with the Wisp giving him some heal, if you can survive long enough for that Wisp heal to kick in, you might be able to like turn the fight around on him. Because that Wisp heal with the Salve that he has is a lot of GG. And something that's really going well for Liquid is that they're countering that ward. That's actually very important.
Well, Zoe's going to find himself a double damage rune as well, although it's going to be picked up under the vision of the Radiant Ward. It's going to be a 1v1 on the bot lane. Normally, if the situation is flipped, where Boba is...
I think they're rotating bot, and Darkseer's just going to go jungle here.
Yeah, that's exactly the case. I was about to make the point that if it was Radiant Syllabear versus Dire Darkseer, the lane advantage goes to the Darkseer if he knows how to play it correctly. Whereas the other situation around, he actually can't use the jungle as much. In any case, the bear will get this pull off successfully. You can see if Fluff is trying his best to get the block off, but it's not going to really be successful. Meanwhile, at the top lane here, YYF is going to be farming on his Visage, which again, we kind of talked about this situation earlier where how much really does a Visage benefit from farm? We'll see it here because he's going to get absolute free farm in this game.
And Bulba's actually choosing to try to do these camps. I think that he should actually just be running on top, but maybe he doesn't see... Well, he sees the Jakiro and Nyx now, so maybe we'll see him just book up there. He's doing a small camp so he can get Surge, I think. But that's a lot of free waves for WarioWare.
He also missed the pull, so like.
Oh, he missed a stack. Wow.
Yeah, that's kind of
That's
uncharacteristic.
It's another unforced error there. That sort of it really hurts to have those. And I'm curious, this Slark and Alchemist matchup mid. I've actually never seen this one played.
Well, I imagine Korok's going to be racing towards 6. He always maxes Pounce and Dark Pack. This is actually the first time I've seen him get Eshin Shift at 2. And this is over the sample size of like 4 or 5 games that he played competitive.
That's also maybe because he's against a lot of like Queen of Pains mid or something like that. If it's against a melee, he sort of wants that just so he can trade hits. He actually got a Stout Shield just so he could trade hits. But that's actually not going very well for him. He has 3 CS at 2 minutes, and he doesn't have his bottle yet. Ferrari already has his bottle, and that's because he rushed the bottle rather than going for the extra Stout Shield like Croc did. I feel like that pooled Salvo on TC might have been a bit better on Croc if he could have just used that and he would have gotten his bottle, because not having a bottle mid versus Alchemist is actually quite problematic.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to acid spray you all day long. You're not going to even, at a certain point, you're not even going to be HP level to walk in to get those last hits. Croc has been missing a ton of last hits under his tower, and I think that as a result of that, he's been delaying his bottle quite a bit. So, meanwhile, it looks like Boba has made a return trip up top. Going to get a pull off and deny a couple of creeps here. So what is the correct response here coming out from the Dire? We had a Triling up top. Looks like the rotation of Triling has fully gone on the bot here for IG. Offensive Triling now against a defensive Triling. This is a matchup I guess Team Liquid wanted. It just is on the other side of the map. And now back on the top lane is going to be 1v1 Zope and Boba. And Boba now could creep skip to his Heart's Content and still farm the enemy jungle.
It's actually going to be a bit hard for him to creep skip just because he's quite down on regen. He only has that one self and he has no more regen after this. So that's not going for him as well as he would have hoped. I actually think that...
looks like engagement's happening right now on YYF 3 second stun. The Luminate's going to fire through and YYF's low and it's going to get blown up. People say that you cannot Triling Wisp. I mean, the ton of deeps that they just threw out.
That was a bit of misposition by IG there actually. They were against 4 creeps and they had 0 of their own, and they just went in on that. Or they didn't go in on that, but they sort of stuck around a bit too long.
Perhaps they didn't realize that Wisp was on the other side of trees.
Sort of the strength of like a Wisp CK. CK is already a super fast hero at 325 base move speed. With the Wisp extra 20%, he can catch someone else